shortly. But now it's time to talk boxing, and Paul Upham joins us. Paul, very big week coming up in boxing. It's good to have a fight here at home finally.
Look, 3 big fights coming up. We've got the Anthony Mundine, Shane Mosley fight on Wednesday night here in Sydney, and the big fight in Macau tomorrow. Manny Pacquiao's return to boxing against Brandon Rios. It's a really dangerous fight for Pacquiao. Yeah,
it certainly is. And on the undercard, of course, we've got another Aussie in the form of Billy Dibb. Now, Billy Dibb had his weigh in today. Obviously, that is an important step to get through. He only just scraped through, and we found out that his underwear weighs a fair bit because he had to take it off, and that's what got him past.
He was half a pound over, and but when I went and saw Billy train a couple of weeks ago, he looks bigger and stronger. And he credited Shannon Ponton from The Biggest Loser of an improved fitness and strength ratio. And I think Billy Dibb, they fought on the 1st of March. Gradovic got the decision. It was a fantastic fight of the year contender, over 12 rounds, split decision. But we've got to remember, Billy Dibb did have his opponent changed 3 times in the weeks leading up to that fight. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think Billy can improve a lot more on this performance. I think he can win on points, but it's a very hard fight, and the biggest thing is champions to come back and win their title. Not many guys get the chance to do it. He'll be the first Australian to win their world title back within the same 12-month period, so it'd be a big achievement for Billy in Macau.
Yeah, that's the important stat, I think, to be the first Australian to win back the world title in the same year that he's lost it. It does take a lot out of a champion to lose the title. Do you think that he has what it takes mentally to win it back?
I think he does. I've seen emotionally how much it affected him, but he's got that determination. But, you know, looking at the fight, he was this close, so close to actually winning the fight on split decision himself. But there's a lot of improvement there, and I just think that with an extra 6 months to analyse Gradovic, who's a pretty straight up and down, they call him the Mexican Russian, he just comes straight ahead. All those subtle moves from Billy Dibb, I think, are going to make the difference. It's not going to be an easy win for Billy Dibb. He's going to have to work really hard, show him those slick moves, and I think he just wins enough rounds to win on points.
Yeah, I've got him winning points as well, and I was interested the other day when we were both there speaking to Billy Dibb that he said he's happy to brawl with Evgeny Gradovic this time. I thought that maybe they'd look for a different tactic, maybe to use the ring a bit more, but he's happy to stand there and go with him.
Well, just because he's saying that he's going to do that before the fight doesn't actually mean it's going to translate what actually happens. Sometimes you don't throw all your tactics right out there, and as we saw Victor Chin a couple of weeks ago, everyone thought he was going to brawl with Danair. He came out there and boxed him really nicely. So let's just see what Billy Dibb brings to the ring, but I think we're going to see some more slickness from Billy in this fight.
What an interesting week it's been in Macau, with the main event, of course, Brandon Rios going up against one of the legends of the sport in the form of Manny Pacquiao. And this week there was a bit of a brawl in the gym while they were waiting around. Freddie Roach, the trainer of Manny Pacquiao, got into the Garcia camp, and it was a pretty ugly incident, really. Alex Ariza, who's now in the Garcia camp, ended up kicking Freddie Roach in this, and it was all a bit nasty. Do you think this will have an impact in the fight itself?
Well, Ariza was actually the strength and conditioning coach for Pacquiao. He was hired by Roach. He was fired this year by Freddie Roach, so there's no love lost between those two. We've seen in the 24/7...
rough.
It was terrible. And also mocking him, his Parkinson's disease.
Awful.
Ariza should be penalised or sanctioned for that. But look, there's a lot of emotion in this fight. It's Manny Pacquiao's return. He fought last December, was knocked out brutally by Juan Manuel Marquez, the Mexican, when he appeared to be winning the fight. Manny said he wants to win for all the devastated Filipino people who've been hurt in the terrible cyclones over there. So look, his career's on the line. He's had 2 losses in a row. He's coming back. This is a big fight. It's going around the world. Everyone's expecting Manny Pacquiao to win. Rios has been picked for a reason. Look, he's an exciting fighter, Rios. They wanted someone who was going to bring the fight to Manny Pacquiao. They think that's going to show Manny's best skills. But Manny Pacquiao having been knocked out, you don't know. At 34 years of age, we've seen it so many times in boxing, Ben, an older champion being knocked out, like a Roy Jones Jr., can they bring it back? And after 12 months, has Manny Pacquiao still got it? Because you can't build muscles on your chin. It's an old saying.
You think that Brandon Rios has got a good chance. I'm going to take the legend of Manny Pacquiao to get through this fight, and one of the reasons being that it just seems that this whole thing might have got to him a little bit. We're going to play a grab now from Brandon Rios. He seems to be talking about Freddie Roach an awful lot when he probably should be concentrating on Manny Pacquiao. Here he is.
This is the message to Freddie Roach. Supposedly I had trouble making 147. Supposedly I'm going to come away. I'm a bum. I don't make weight. I'm a fat loser. Well, he's going to have something different in the ring Saturday night.
So he seems to think that he's fighting Freddie Roach, doesn't he?
There's a lot of talk, a lot of animosity there. But the question is, if Manny Pacquiao's at his best, he wins this fight comfortably. I don't know that he's going to knock him out. I've got Manny Pacquiao winning on points. I think if Manny's prepared and can show him those angles and moves and those great combinations, he'll win on points. I don't know that he's going to knock Brandon Rios off. Rios is a warrior. He loves to go to war. You made a point that he takes a lot of punches, though. He's a very exciting fighter, but I just don't know that Manny Pacquiao is going to knock him out. But having said that, if Pacquiao at 34 is not there anymore, if he doesn't have that chin, I would not be surprised to see Rios win by knockout. But my pick is Pacquiao on points, and I think it's going to be a very exciting fight. Yeah,
boxing great tomorrow in Macau in the form of Manny Pacquiao, and on Wednesday night here in Australia in Sydney at Allphones Arena, one of the greats of the sport, and Shane Mosley, will take to the ring. He's up against Anthony Mundine. It's been a bizarre build-up to this one. We had the fight scheduled and then called off. He came back, he got his cash, now it's back on. Who do you think that delay will help?
Look, the question mark I've got on Shane Mosley is that he's flown around the planet twice. Now, we saw many years ago when Antoine Eccles had to postpone his fight with Anthony Mundine when Anthony Mundine won his first world title. He went round twice and he looked flat that night. We've seen Shane training here in Sydney. He looks fantastic. 42 years of age, he's still very, very close to his best. Anthony's going to have to fight really, really well. He needs to get off to a fast start. He's got to throw a lot of punches. He can't just sit back on the ropes and admire his work. He's got to keep working. I think Shane could possibly just slip a little bit in the last couple of rounds, and that's where Anthony's advantage is. But Anthony's got to use that jab and work from the opening bell and build those rounds up, because it's going to be hard to beat Sugar Shane Mosley because he's close to his best.
I watched Shane Mosley, like you did, train during this week. Were you surprised just how good he does look for 42 years of age?
And I think that surprised everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody was thought when he lost to Floyd Mayweather, when he lost to Manny Pacquiao, that he wasn't what he was. He was. He's not the Sugar Shane Mosley of old, but he's still a very, very good version. And I'm going to say this now. If Anthony Mundine does win, I don't want to hear any excuses later that Shane Mosley was over the hill. Mosley is in fantastic condition, and if Mundine wins, it is a fantastic win for Anthony Mundine. But having said that, it's going to be a tough night for Anthony.
Do you think that Anthony will retire, as he said he will, if he loses this fight?
Look, he said that he will retire, so we can only take him at word. But look, let's see. I think it's going to be a really close fight. I think both guys have got a chance of winning on the night. Let's see what they bring to the ring. But if Anthony Mundine wins, it is a great win.
He won't retire. There's no way in the world. Anthony will keep going. Thanks for joining us, Paul. Enjoy the week. It'll be a good one.
Great to be here, Ben.